answer the question, what's the worst idea your job ever has had? Because I was reading about a promotion between the NBA basketball team, the Atlanta Hawks, and the Magic City Strip Club. They were supposed to do some kind of a promotion together. The Hawks principal owner, Jamie Gertz, praised Magic City for, quote, the incredible impact on our city and its unique culture. Somebody on the San Antonio Spurs publicly commented saying that's a bad idea and the NBA should not be partnering with a gentleman's club because it was disrespectful to women.
Well, and I mean, it's just kind of it is a crazy promotion. And that is one of those where you go like, how many meetings did we have about this? How many people did this pass through where they're like, I see no potential issues with this at all?
It almost sounds like the former Washington Redskins owner bought the Atlanta Hawks. Sounds like something he would have done. Remember all those stories that came out about that guy?
Oh, yeah.
So eventually, the commissioner, Adam Silver, stepped in and shut down the promotion. It was supposed to happen on March 16th. The league reached out to the Hawks organization to better understand their plans and rationale. Like, hey, what were you thinking here? And then they decided that would not be a proper partnership. Can you think of an idea that was thrown out at your job that is similarly bad?
Yes.
601-995-1017. Sounds like you can start, Allison.
Yeah. So I was a intern at a public relations firm for an entire summer. And there were so many crazy bad ideas because the whole point of that game was like, how can we get attention for these brands? But the absolute worst, we had this client who did like a sensitive toothpaste, specialty toothpaste, but they had a bunch of oral care products. Well, that summer, the World Cup happened, and one of the players bit another player. It was like a big viral story, and they were like, how do we get this player who bit the other player photographed with our toothpaste? And they went as far as one of the bosses that I worked for, her husband was like an anchor on like a world news platform, like a pretty big deal. And they were like, can you, whenever this guy comes on your husband's show, can you like get him to have the toothpaste and we can get him photographed with the toothpaste? And the boss was like, I'm not going to do that. That is a terrible idea.
601-995-1017. Dumbest idea somebody came up with at work. My dumbest thing I had ever heard happened at a radio station. Not this one, not in this town. This was Panama City. And there was a client, and specifically the sales guy who was responsible, who came up with this idea, was a jerk. I hated this guy so much.
Well, and I guarantee, like, if you've worked for at least 5 years anywhere, you've run into a guy like this. This is the guy who he's worked with the same people his entire career. He's done the same things his entire career. He has that philosophy of, like, this is how it's always been done. Why change it? And really looks down on anyone young who might come in with new ideas of, like, why are you messing this up for me?
Exactly.
Yes.
So this guy, to kind of paint more of a picture, he was on oxygen. He would smoke with the oxygen in out front. I thought we were all going to get blown up one day because of what he was doing. Anyway, his client wants to promote this crawfish festival, and he emailed me on like a Sunday afternoon and was like, hey, so-and-so will be in on your show tomorrow at 7:30, which that's like an important time of day. And I was like, no, he won't. I don't approve. It's not happening.
Veto.
Yeah, veto. He could come in after 9, which was what I said. So that made him mad. And then his idea for promoting Crawfish Festival is we could have a live crawfish race in the studio. And you could do play-by-play of the crawfish race in the studio.
Right.
The dumbest thing ever.
I mean,
does that sound like something you'd want to listen to? Adam and Allison's crawfish race?
Right. Like, if we're all at Crawfish Fest having a great time, drinks are flowing, and it's something that you can actually watch the live crawfish racing, that could get kind of fun, kind of silly. But if you can't see it and you're like just driving to work thinking, man, I really don't want to have to go to the sales meeting that I'm going to have to go to. And you're just trying to hear this weird play-by-play of crawfish that aren't really doing anything but are supposedly racing. That's not a good time.
601-995-1017. Dumbest idea you've ever heard at your job. Jesse, a man of 1,000 different jobs.
Yes.
You were a cop at one point. You've done so many different things. Jesse, what's the dumbest idea you've seen?
Well, they had these get rid of your old prescription things, right?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Bring us your old drugs. So they put the dang thing outside at the pharmacies. People have been dumping drugs in it all day. Crackheads to break into it every night. I'm like, what were y'all thinking putting a box outside a pharmacy at night?
Might as well just slap a sign on it that says free drugs.
Yeah.
100%. They're like, nobody's dropping it off. And then they went back to realize people were breaking into the box every night.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Jesse, thank you for the call and the story. That is very funny.
Adam and Allison in the morning.